I'm going some rabbit hole situations for a little while here. This morning, the song popped into my head, and we're coming up on the Libra New Moon, October 21st, 2025. When songs pop into my head nowadays, I'm like, okay, they're messages. I need to understand, what is it trying to tell me? Now, Dreams, written by Dolores O'Riordan in 1990. This is Woodstock, 1994. Look at this. This is crazy.
Are we ready to have some fun? Well, maybe you know this one. This one was a singular verse. Dreams!
Okay, so that's our girl. And when she was 18 years old, she wrote this song about dreams, but it's really about love. It's about first love, about really feeling it for the first time, and who you are and who you become when you're in relationship. The Libra whole story of Libra is about self and other. It's the we, right? Aries is me, but the opposite side is Libra, and that's the we. The sun and the moon are together during a new moon event. Every month it happens. They meet up quietly on the same degree, and when two things meet up, it's a conjunction, and when two things meet up, something new can come out of it. When we have a new moon event, it's about 3 days when the moon isn't visible. And when the moon isn't visible, the sun is also not visible. You're like, yeah, duh, it's nighttime, Lindsay, okay? But think about it. The moon, what is it doing? It doesn't have its own light. It's reflecting the sun. So the both of them kind of get out of the way, and we can go out at night and see the sky as it is. We see what really is out there. And this is almost like an in utero or an incubation moment or metamorphosis time, where like you go into something where you set an intention, and that's why that's powerful during new moons, and something will blossom, be revealed, will be part of whatever the story is in about 6 months. If you look at this chart, there's a lot of stuff going on in the water signs. So yes, this is an air Libra new moon, and it's ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is in Libra. That's very, very positive. And then if you look at those red lines, we have a little bit of a premonition, a preview of something that's building into this. It's like within a few degrees out of sign square to Pluto in Aquarius. So there may be some feelings that you're having of some sort of tension, or maybe this is part of what's being built into it, a desire for more, for a change, a shift, not only just relationally, but humanitarian and collectively, something that needs to be changing and feeling some friction there. And we also have a square to Jupiter. Jupiter is in Cancer, exalted. The square from that is a little bit more of a separating square. It's about 4 degrees. It's a more pure square than this outer square thing, but that's coming. So the thing about Jupiter is it's kind of busy. It's busy talking in a trine, a water trine. So back to Dolores, we're talking about emotions here that are coming in. We have ideas and emotions. It's all air, it's all water. So let's talk about her song for a second. The main themes of the lyrics here relate to new reality. The first one is, oh, my life is changing every day. So this is the theme, this Libra concept of how we change when we become in relationship with anything. And we are constantly in relationship with stuff. I'm in relationship with this chair I'm sitting on. I'm in relationship with you right now. You're in relationship with your environment. And then we think about, on top of that, when we interact with people or ideas or emotions, all of this is Libra stuff. It's a balancing act between these things that we are interacting with. So it establishes a theme when she says that my life is changing every day in every possible way, that any relationship we have changes us, it alters us, and it's a new reality. So the person that she's singing to, she is expressing that she's never felt this way before. It's a new experience. So think back to your first love. How was it, this feeling? Not only is a new reality something fresh and new, but it's vulnerable. There's vulnerability, but there's also hope. So the next lyric is, now I tell you openly, you had my heart, so don't hurt me. That's the inherent danger of relationship, is an imbalance, where you get hurt and the depth is going to be with you as well. You carry it with you. But inspiration and awakening comes. So the fear of being hurt is always kind of there, in these experiences, especially when you have nothing to compare it to, when you're 18 and you're falling in love for the first time. But the next lyric that I noted is about inspiration and awakening. And she says, then I open up and see. And that's a realization that you only can get when you have had an experience of interrelationship, because it affects us. It leads us to a different version of who we are becoming. And then the dreamlike quality of love is there as well in the next line. It's never quite as it seems, because you're a dream to me. So it can feel dreamlike. It can feel surreal and too good to be true. And also, it is good. Like that's the thing about worrying about those moments. The dreamlike quality is being there in that moment and not letting it be sullied by reality. Like, just enjoy those feelings. Then the intensity is there as well. So this is why am I talking about all these things? It's because of that water trine. Mars in Scorpio conjunct Mercury with Black Moon Lilith. That is intense. There is an intensity coming through right now in this new moon. It's built in. So I feel like there's just two things going on. There's ideas and emotions. And that's the song. There's ideas about, inspiration, awakening, vulnerability, hope, reality, and then just feeling it like, oh my God, I'm in love. I'm feeling so different. That energy that comes through. It's very Venusian. And so we also have Venus as the ruler of this new moon in the same sign. So she's in her home sign, it's in domicile, and that brings a lot of power. So even though there's some squares to the new moon, Venus comes in and sort of soothes it. Now on the other side, on the flip side, we have the energies of Mars and Mercury conjunct in Scorpio. So this concept of precision and intensity, intelligence, Mars and Scorpio is very powerful. It, yes, can indicate some things that maybe we don't necessarily always like, the significations of what it can lead to, because they're intense. When you put Mercury there, your mind, the ideas can go somewhere way deeper and bring up something that's universal. This song is a universal feeling of love. Impossible to ignore, they have come true. And that's a Libra thing. Libra also represents art and beauty and anything that's aesthetic, things that we find attractive and balanced. So there's some potentially really transformative ideas that could be touching a nerve, but create a truth, an authenticity, a reality for you that you really need to bring in through these emotions. Now, that trine is coming to Saturn in Pisces. It's our last time with Saturn over there. Mikey from the Goonies collecting those marbles, throwing the marbles out, collecting the jewels, and then Jupiter exalted in Cancer. That's creating that flow of energy between those really powerful planets. So the Libra new moon, it's got all that built into it, the intensity, the inspiration, but also the beauty of cooperation and balance. Neptune is also retrograding back into Aries this week on October 22nd. So that is going to be weird. We're going to be in some weird stuff because there's a lot of retrograde action. There's this like in-between moment. We're in a liminal space. So Neptune going back into Aries, it'll be there from October until the new year. The new year is when it's kind of come back in February and create this conjunction with Saturn. It's like, that's a big deal. I've been talking about it a lot. But renewal, there's a renewal here. So we're going back into this era of Saturn and Pisces together with Neptune and Pisces. So very, very deep, mystical, conceptual ideas are coming through. The sun is also going to enter Scorpio this week. So it just amplifies it. When the sun does that, it focuses us collectively on emotional truth, on transformation, on regeneration, release, authenticity. Honestly, Scorpio is the no BS sign. So next I want to talk about the Sabian symbol. Humanity seeking to bridge knowledge, involvement in humanity's evolution of wisdom. We take from our ancestors and pass to our descendants, thus co-create the flowing and flowering of knowledge, seeking knowledge. He says one of the most splendid of human characteristics is that we have conscious awareness of and intention to be a living link link of the chain that binds the past to the future, ancestors to descendants. Rudyard says, mankind's vast and enduring effort to reach for knowledge transferable from generation to generation. Well, what does that mean? That means that this moment is about ideas, it's about the future, it's about looking backwards to look forwards and creating something deep, meaningful, and real, authentic, true. The most deep thing that you can possibly create comes from a scorpionic place, and they're universal concepts, right? They might not always be our favorite thing to talk about, but they're universal. So Zach Bush is somebody that I really enjoy. He's a doctor and he talks about consciousness and stuff. And I was watching him talk about a study that they put these people in a machine and they had them think about love and think about all these things, tell stories about their life. And all of the moments where they were talking about love, they saw in their whatever beep boppity boopity things that they do in studies, that something happened inside of a person. You know, they could measure it, that it was a really, really high level of whatever they were measuring, a good thing, right? When they were talking about love. But what was bugging them is that there were other points where it was even higher than that, that there were that plus more. And when they looked back at the tapes, they realized that people were talking about all sorts of stuff. They were talking about grieving and loss and betrayal and beautiful things, all the best and the worst things of life. But when the people were listening back, it was one of those stories that kind of gives you goosebumps. You know that feeling when somebody's telling you a story and you feel it like in your body, that's true and authentic and real. It's like the scorpionic tail, right? The scorpion, it senses things. It feels it. And that kind of was what he was saying, that those moments were the top level of this feeling that they were measuring. It was authenticity. So that's kind of what I'm feeling about this new moon, that it's an authentic expression of rebalancing ideas and emotions, looking backwards to look forwards. So to piggyback off of that Sabian symbol about ancestors and our elders, this is a video I was watching earlier today, Invisible Forces That Shape the Material World by Dr. Bruce Lipton.
Civilization has lost its connection with nature from which we came. That in losing this, we have separated ourselves from nature, but we've also separated ourselves from each other. And I say that because when biomedicine recognizes that consciousness and spirit are not relevant, they're missing the whole point of quantum physics, because quantum physics, energy is what's relevant. The invisible forces shape the material world.
So, with these ideas of relationship and emotions, I feel like it's a time for connection and connecting to something deeper inside of you and bringing that up to the surface. I think that's pretty much all we've got for today. Thank you for being here with me. I like you just the way you are. If you have any questions or thoughts, feel free to share them in the comments, and I will talk to you next time.